Hello everyone, it's Ethan from the Orlando Tourist. We just got here at Universal Orlando on Thursday, July 24th. It's been over a week and a half since our last visit. I guess 2 weeks actually, probably, since our last visit here to Universal. And we have a huge Halloween Horror Nights update for you guys. Huge Halloween Horror Nights construction that just started within the last week. We had trusses up on our last visit, but now we have full-on Scare Zone construction. And we also have, last week they announced every Scare Zone coming to the event. So a lot of details there to go over, and we might even be getting a house announcement or two today. So we're gonna cover all of that for you guys. There's probably gonna be new merch, just a huge Halloween Horror Nights update overall. So we're gonna head in. Also, I just got a brand new camera lens here, nice and wide. So really good for vlogging, and this is gonna be great during the Halloween Horror Nights season, nice and low light. So our Halloween Horror Nights videos and our other haunt vlogs that we're filming are gonna be really high quality. And yes, I am behind on getting my Halloween haunt season videos out from last year. Those are going up on the channel right now. So if you want to see all the haunts we visited last year, check those out. But without further ado, we're gonna head right into the park. I already see a lot of construction going on, but before we show you guys, we need to show you guys the descriptions for all the zones and tell you guys what's coming to the event this year. And then as we go around the park, we'll show you the current construction they have set up in each of those zones as well. So the front entrance zone currently doesn't have any construction set up yet, but hopefully soon. And you can see we have a lot of lighting staged on top of the building. And a lot of this is normal lighting, but fans are thinking that we're gonna have the Scare Zone extended into the Minion Boulevard, which was not the case the last couple years. We'll see though, because they do have some street lighting. We're gonna show you guys some lighting over here. Now in years past, like recent years, they've had ambiance lighting, but we think because of these heavy rigged lighting over here, they're gonna have some serious Scare Zone lighting, and the Scare Zone might extend it into the street over here. So hopefully, yeah, in years past we had the Scare Zone go all the way down, but because of the new Minion attractions, they stopped doing that. So we'll see what they do this year. But let's get into the description of the Scare Zone. So this Scare Zone is the Origins of Horror, which is, you know, the front of the park. It says, enter a decaying conservatory of twisted vines where artists carve tributes to Halloween Horror Nights 34. You'll encounter monstrous crows, gargoyles, and more. So not only are we going to talk about all these details that Universal's announced, but there was a media event in the UK, and someone got a bunch of extra details about the event and a bunch of the Scare Zones. So we'll be talking about that throughout today's video as well. But I know something he mentioned in his Twitter posts were that the neon truss that we have at the front of the park is returning. Maybe it's going to be pushed back a little bit like it was in years past, but the neon words aren't going to be red this year. It's going to be a turquoise blue, so it's going to be an interesting change. I know they're going to have like iron fence work in front of the truss, and they're going to have a lot of huge gargoyles. I know their wingspans are huge. They're going to have carvings in the rock. The chainsaw people carve different statues of the different IP characters that are coming to the event this year. So overall, I'm really excited for this zone because not only will it take up this whole space, hopefully, but it just sounds really cool. They're gonna have crows, which is inspired from the Hollywood Murder of Crows Scare Zones. Lots of other fun details. So I'm actually really excited for that zone. Probably one of my most hyped this year. But let's head into the second zone coming up. And yeah, throughout the video, we'll talk about more of these details that they revealed in the UK event. Probably talk about it after we do a loop around the park as well. So our second Scare Zone we're coming up to is in Hollywood, the Hollywood section of the park. It's called Masquerade, Dance with Death. You're invited to a masquerade ball where the bloodthirsty vampires lurk behind ornate disguises. When their masks fall, you'll become their prey. So this is a, like they're having a Halloween type ball. They're wearing these monster disguises. And then they're gonna have different show moments where they put down their masks and they show that they're vampires. So it sounds really neat, and we're coming up on the zone right now. We have a lot of Scare Zone construction in here. So as we head in, we have a couple truss pieces, which will probably hold like banners or some set pieces. But we have new stages that have appeared. So we have a few brown ones, and we have like a turquoise one over there. These look amazing. The detail, the level of theming on these. We have our Horror Night preparation sign has finally arrived. And each of these stages have some like stained glass stuff in the back, and they said that's one of the motifs that's gonna be part of the event. But look at this themed speaker. Look at that. The attention to detail this year is just par none. But we have a cat over here in this stage. We're gonna go more in depth with this stuff later too. This is really neat though. The set pieces, the theming is just crazy. You can actually see the stained glass work better from the back side. Yeah, look at that. So we're probably at least getting one house announced today, and we'll be in the store here later, but the latest announcement was Terrifier from a few weeks ago. But here's another stage over here. This one's got a gargoyle. And I love how this one's got like tile flooring. Just really similar designs on all the stages here. And then we have one more stage. This one's a little bit different theming, and this one's a bat for the stained glass piece. And I like how this one's got like a banister in the front. Definitely different theming than the other ones. This one's really cool looking. And on this side of the zone we have another mini truss piece. And then we have a bigger truss down there which is holding some lighting, some wiring up. And then we have a truss over there by the Lagoon, which might be signage by the Lagoon. But we're coming up on our next scare zone, and let's talk about it. So our next scare zone that they announced was the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. Travel down a spooky winding path to a mysterious home where trick-or-treaters are transformed into feral felines. Be careful or you'll be next. So this house was actually hinted at during Slaughter Cinema 2 in one of the movie posters. By the end of the house, we'll put that up on screen for you from someone's POV. I think it was like theme park POV. Someone on YouTube had it up, and we took a screenshot, and you can actually really see that they were hinting at it this whole time. And I wasn't so hyped for this zone at first, but after seeing construction images online and starting to come to the zone right now, this might be a banger, guys. So let's show you guys. So as we head in, we have these new props that actually appeared this morning. We have a 9 for Crooked Lane. We have some cats. We're entering a winding path up to someone's house, basically. And I like how they have these notches for a fence. Obviously, there's going to be like a iron fencing that they're going to have. This is pretty cool. I don't know if they're going to have a scare in here or some props. It looks like a chimney of some sort. There's not much theming in this actual zone right now itself. We have some speakers in the grass. We have some things covered up on the floor. Those will probably be expanded soon. We have another one of these pieces here. Got some more speakers, more stuff covered up. But here's where it gets juicy. And I guess we have another one of these squares over here. Let's show you the juicy stuff. So, as we get into this courtyard that expands from DreamWorks and everywhere else, we have this stage and this like truss thing that appeared like a couple weeks ago. We saw this last visit, and all these lighting rigs now have lights. But around the side here, we have these like a mini pathway. It might be like a scare shack of some sort, and they have these stained glass pieces on the top. So yeah, this looks amazing. And each of these stained glass pieces are cat faces. So we have a cat face here. Sun's not really shining through at the moment, so it's hard to see. If you flip it upside down, I believe it also is like the ears move a different way, and it's still a cat face. As we come around the side though, they have some lighting pieces in here, some speakers. It's gonna be like a mini trail, and they could scare you in here. It looks like we got some boo holes. It's really neat looking. I'm excited for this. This is just unique. I've never seen the scare zone expanded in this way. So this is really cool. What we can assume is that the walkway here is leading up to the cat lady's house. So in the poster, they have the cat lady's house, and I'm assuming this is what this is going to be, and this is a stage for the cat lady. And in the concept art, they have pumpkins in the trees. So I'm assuming we might hopefully get our pumpkins back in the trees, and that makes me very happy because I missed those. It's been a while. I think 2018 was the last year we had that. So yeah. Looks like this must have just appeared today. We have a new Bad Guys 2 photo op. We also just got new advertisements in the Movie Hub and City Walk. But this looks cool. It's a fun little photo op. Here's a better look at that. Looks amazing. Alright, so we're going to keep heading around the park. And like I said, we'll talk about more details scattered in throughout today's video. But we have a couple more zones to show you guys. And just updates in general. Not only do we have a lot of details in our video today, and we're sharing stuff from the UK event, but also we recently went to Spooky Empire. We went to a panel over there, and they released and talked about a lot of details there. So they released our first original house announcement then, and then we made a whole video on all the original houses coming to the event. So if you want all the juicy details about everything that Universal officially announced as far as all the original houses, we have a video on the channel already. So make sure you check that out. But we're heading around the park, and we still have more stuff to show you guys regarding the zones and just other stuff in general. House facades are appearing for the tent houses. We won't be showing those because it's considered backstage. But HHN chains, Dolls, and then even Fallout and Galkin have all had facades start appearing recently. Over here, we have bridge construction going on. The bridge has been closed for over a month now. So hopefully it'll be open by the time Horror Night starts. It's kind of scary looking, look at that. It's all torn up. The air conditioning feels so good over here by Men in Black. We will be riding it later, but let's finish our loop around the park first. The Amity Island bathrooms are still under refurbishment, but it looks like the sides are all painted up. Hopefully that'll be opening soon. And over here, Mike Aiello hinted that a Nightmare Fuel might be returning, but they haven't announced officially all the show details. But whatever show does come this year to Halloween Horror Nights, it'll be done by a different creative director than last year's show. And they've added a lot of props here. We covered this in the past few weeks. We saw a lot of Grim Reapers and stuff, but center screen you can see the circus thing they had last year. It looks like it's returned as a set piece on the top. I don't know what the theme of this year's show exactly is going to have, but I'm excited for it. And some people caught audio testing the other day, so we might have heard a few songs that might be coming to the show. Can't wait for the official details soon. But yeah, about 3 videos back you can see the Grim Reaper. If we see it later today, we'll show you guys as well. Better look at it. And right by the show area, we have these couple trusses, which will have TVs for the house entrances that'll be back here. So last year we were Goblins and Monsters. This year should be Galkin and Fallout. Here's a closer look at the bathroom refurbishment. It's been going on for months. It's honestly looking really nice. Lots of truss and lighting over here around the event. We do have set up for the Death Eaters in Diagon Alley. We did see it our last visit. We'll check up on it later. But they haven't officially announced any details about the Death Eaters. But like I said, we'll check up on the set pieces later, see if there's anything new. We've been making a prediction for the past couple weeks, and it seems like it might have been correct. So over here, we have Scare Zone construction for Halloween Horror Nights. And Universal did officially announce details on this Scare Zone. Now, technically, this might not be considered a Scare Zone. We might only have like 4 zones this year. But this will be used for HHN, and it will be street experience. We have new lighting on this truss since our last visit. We have a whole structure here for a DJ to stand, and we're most likely going to have go-go dancers in this zone as well. Some of the Jaws theming has been removed in the mini Amity Land over here, so I'm only assuming this will only be here for a few more weeks. And we have some green tarp on the fencing here, and something covered up like a speaker, some electrical. It's really interesting. Obviously they still have some Coca-Cola Jaws Amity theming around the truss base as well, and that'll be removed in the next coming weeks. Before we tell you guys what that street experience is, they actually did announce 2 street experiences on the same day, so I'm going to talk about them together. And we still have one of the other ones to show you guys, but before we do that, I'll show you guys the actual last Scare Zone in the park, and then we'll get into the street experiences. We're not going to show you guys, but over here by Fast and Furious, we have some facade work behind the tent on the right side, and that's for most likely Friday the 13th. That's a house coming to the event that's officially announced. Our last official full Scare Zone we have to show you guys is over here in the New York section of the park, and there hasn't been any set pieces or anything new in here yet, but we also have a lot more work going on than just a Scare Zone. The only visible signs of construction so far is the lighting on top of the building, which we've had for a couple weeks now. As you can see them up there and over here. So we have that for Halloween Horror Nights. It's loud over here, but I guess the Blue Brothers got their stage back. But the official announcement for the zone, it's also very windy, it might be hard to hear me. Let's get over here. So this Scare Zone is called Mutations Toxic 20s. In a 1920s neighborhood, a BuzzCon truck with radioactive cargo crashes into a mobster getaway car, sending the city into toxic pandemonium. So BuzzCon, that's from Bugs Eaten Alive, just the chemicals and stuff from the house, just part of the lore. They added it in here just for synergy, but we don't have like any setup going on, but it's basically these mutants that are turning into these what do you call it, mafia people that are turning into monsters and stuff. So pretty cool. Like I said, we don't have any construction in the area yet, but there are a couple things I do want to point out and show you guys that, you know, are somewhat happening at the moment in this area. The first thing I want to point out is that the Palace Arcade by Mummy has closed, and we'll explain why in a minute, but there's some theories going around at the moment, and they have blocked out all the windows so you can't see what's going on. They might also close the Mummy gift shop and maybe have a curtain over it temporarily. But like I said, we'll explain why in just a minute. But they might be connecting this to the arcade. Well, it does connect that already. Noticed anything different in here so far? Over here though, you can see it's closed, the arcade side. I don't know if I actually showed you guys this, but not only do we have construction, but the arcade words have been removed. So they might be putting up a facade here, or maybe putting up signage right there. So pretty interesting. So you might be asking, why are we concerned about the arcade? Is it Horror Nights related? What's going on? So yes, it is Halloween Horror Nights related, and it's probably going to be the location of the tribute store if I had to place a bet or a guess. And the reason why is the Hollywood location that they sometimes use is still being used for a discount store for pass holders and team members, and it hasn't yet closed for construction to be transformed. The other main location of the tribute store is right over here. And the reason they might not use it is because of the Rip Ride Rockit construction. Universal announced that Rip Ride Rockit, they moved up the closure date to August 18th. So the last day to ride it is the 17th. Speaking of construction walls, we have one right here as well across from Fallon and Mummy. This has been here for like 3 weeks now. But as far as Rip Ride Rockit goes, this whole back corner of the park's closed off and most likely will not be used during Halloween Horror Nights for house entrances. So everything's gonna be changed this year as far as that goes. But the exit of the tribute store is back there, and it's kind of close to these construction walls. In fact, these walls might expand this way. So we'll see what happens, but I would not expect this tribute store location to be used, and I would expect that to be used instead, with some of those gift shops possibly closing down the next few weeks just for use of Halloween Horror Nights. Another interesting development is the Metropolis Tribune sign has been removed from this building. Could be for refurbishment, could be for scare zone setup. It looks like the bottom of this awning has also been more exposed. So they're definitely doing something with it. Could be for Rocket's construction, we don't really know. But it's just an interesting development overall. Rip Ride Rocket's closure will definitely impact Halloween Horror Nights this year, as the coaster will not be able to eat up crowds or be open during the event. And it will definitely impact how the lines and the queues are set up, so I'd expect the queue to be set up here. And the other ones in this corner might be shifted to different locations within the area over here. Even though a capacity monster like Rocket will not be open during the event this year, Horror Nights and Universal, the creative development team behind this, have found some unique ways to spread out the crowds around the park. So we're going to be seeing, they told us, you know, during the UK thing and during Spooky Empire that they're going to be having themed things all around the park, different unique experiences, and there's not going to be a lot of dead zones throughout the park. So there's always going to be something to do wherever you go, and that's going to really be nice because there was always some dead pockets around the park. So there's not much going on. This year that shouldn't be an issue. We should actually be having a lot of entertainment, just different experiences to do during the event. So it's going to be really cool, and I'm excited for that. Cannot wait. And they even said during the event that there's going to be different Five Nights at Freddy's experiences, not just one. We're going to show you our other street experience that we're talking about, and these street experiences that they're adding are kind of piggybacking off what we just said, all these different experiences around the park. So Mel's Drive-In, they always have the fancy lighting during Halloween Horror Nights. They've actually been testing out the lighting during the day, and it's not just for the normal lighting, it's because there's a show that's going to be over here. Now, Universal has made some Mel's Drive-In shirts, you know, last year, and they were popular. They had some merch. So why not make a show for the fans? So like I said, we have the street experiences in San Francisco, and then we have one here. So the one here, they showed an image. It's just Mel's Die-In Zombies. So they're gonna have roller skaters, like servers, pretending to come out, and they're gonna be zombies, and they're gonna be delivering like fake food or whatever. They're probably gonna have a show, or it might be a mini scare zone, maybe not a show. But right over here, I'm excited to see it. And they said more details will come out soon. Now let's talk about what they said is going to the San Francisco area. They said they're gonna have undead DJs and more over there. And the art for that image, it looks like there's go-go dancers in the background. Yeah, for the zombies, it does say zombie car hops. So those are like the servers. So, like they said, they only announced very little details for these two experiences. They're gonna come out with more details in the future, probably when they announce a bunch of the other details around the park, like the shows and everything like that. So we haven't even got any food announcements yet. but we got small sneak peeks of what's to come in these little street experiences. Pretty much it as far as what they announced last week for Scare Zone details, and as far as our actual Scare Zone updates currently around the park. We're gonna go around the park again and get some photos of the different set pieces, and then we should have our announcement coming up in a couple hours. And then after that, we'll also show you the Death Eater stuff, and then we're gonna get more in depth about the stuff they announced during the UK event. As far as different street experiences, we recently had a Megan street show in the park, so maybe this will return for Halloween Horror Nights. That was really cool. We had that video on our channel from that experience. One of the things that's coming this year is the Horror Night bar is returning, the HHN bar. It was over here last year. They had the TV screens mounted already, or the mounts for the TVs. They need the little stages added over here. But they officially announced it during the UK press event that the HHN bar is returning. I also believe that in the San Francisco Scare Zone, they're gonna have different characters you can meet as like a photo opportunities. And I know they said that the girl in the dollhouse that they have this year, the main character, you can meet her elsewhere around the park. So I don't know if that's gonna be right here at the HHN bar, or if that'll be by the DJ, the Club Horror, or if Club Horror is even gonna have characters or not. So I have no clue. But love that the HHN bar is returning.
I love you so much. Matt, in his chair. You boys scoot over. You're gonna give me a heart attack. You're gonna give me a heart attack. Just watch right there. 4 minutes. That's it. Boys, right over there. Right here. You're late. Right here. Perfect. Just that's all. Come on. A little bit faster. One right into the other. Very good. Especially you, honey. I love you. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. Right here. This way, nobody forget who are you with? Them? Here, you stand right next to Josie. Before Josie breaks her nose. She's on it. Now, Matt. I'm lining you up so nobody passes in front of you. Alright? The only person that should pass in front of you is me. That's because I had a brisket for breakfast. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm infamous Hollywood director Manny Petty. Yeah, the only people clapping work here. I'm gonna try that again. Manny Petty! Very good. Every time I say the word excitement, I need everybody to scream, shout, holler, yell. We're gonna practice on 3. Josie, help me out. 1, 2, 3. Excitement! So good, but I have bad news. What's her name? She's so good. Matt, you're gonna be playing our server. Okay. Let me see you hold the tray like this. Never drop the tray. Okay. This is a very patriotic film. Okay. I'm gonna need you to salute the flag like this. Don't drop the tray! He didn't listen. All right. Give him a big round of applause. I love it. Very good, very good. All right, one more time. Very good. You, slap me across your face. You're going to say the words, quiet on the set. You ready? 1, 2, 3, quiet on the set! You stumbled upon rehearsal for Miss Maryland's newest and yet to be titled Hollywood Spectacular, Matt in the Chair. As each and every one of you perform for the troops, everybody, all together, nice and loud, excitement! Yeah! Places, girls. Girls, choreography change. The ballet is cut. There's no point. So give me the shimmy. Give me the chamois. Give me that Chevy. I need a ride home. Ladies, from you, I want sass. I want class. I want atmosphere. Watch it. This kid's right over there. Look at him staring to the camera. And it's, yeah! Miss Maryland, if you need anything at all, do not hesitate to ask. Thank you for the opportunity. This is it, everybody. Places! Lights! Camera! That's it, you ready? And action! Everybody nice and loud, excited! The finale!
I got a sweet sugar candy man.
Right to the camera. That was good, right?
Here's my sweet sugar candy man.
I don't even think he knows he's here. You're next, buddy.
So we're all just waiting for the next Halloween Horror Nights announcement, and the director for the Maryland show pulls us all over into the show. That was incredible. The crowd interaction, everything was just insane. That was just a really fun experience overall. And they just announced a new Horror Nights announcement. In the meantime, they just announced the Nightmare Fuel is returning. And they didn't give us too many details, but we'll read the announcement. We were just over there, and they literally just came out at like 10:34. So this year's Nightmare Fuel is called Nightmare Fuel Circus of Decay. This is the 5th Nightmare Fuel. It says this once vibrant circus has festered into an unending nightmare. It's a sinister spectacle of pyro, aerialists, and illusions. Not only do they have a new creative show director this year, but I heard that they're going for more of the scary than the sexy aspect of the show. We saw Grim Reapers a few weeks ago, and today we saw that circus theming, so really cool that we noticed that. Everyone's waiting for the next announcement. It might be Five Nights at Freddy's, which they've hinted at, or it might be something else. Everyone's waiting in front of the store. Everyone's expecting a Horror Nights announcement today, so we'll see if anything gets announced, other than the show that was already announced today.
Come and catch it. That's something far more menacing, isn't it? Scott, as you were. I didn't offend you. All right, I'm gonna go this way now. I'll see you all in the future.
Hey, still here. Wow, okay, so we met the scary clown. Great. What are we waiting for now? Scary teddy bears. Scary bears? Oh, that hurt. Wait, a bear's gonna be really scary? Why scary if friend-shaped? Why scary if friend-shaped? That's what the kids are saying nowadays, okay? Well, I hope this bear is much nicer than that guy.
We don't. You've got some red like you.
I mean, I will say we have similar colors going on, but I think I'm much nicer. Right?
Yes.
You scary Halloween Horror Nights people. I love you so much, and enjoy your day, okay? I'll be back to see the scary bear. Hey, what kind of like wearing red and black? We're like a group. Me, you, and this guy. Bye, honey.
Mega Movie's about to kick off. It's already almost 2 o'clock, and they did another Halloween Horror Nights announcement. Now, we were expecting to get a house announced. That did not happen yet, but they just announced a second show today. So I'm assuming we're not getting a house announcement, but they just announced that we're getting the water show back, the Lagoon show, and it's called Hauntophonic, A Ghoulish Journey. So similar to the Ghoulish show we had in 2022 that got damaged from the hurricane, a lot of people didn't get to watch it. But this is a ghost story is rising from its watery grave to haunt the Universal Studios Lagoon, featuring towering water screens and eerie music. Now, it would be cool if we got drones for Horror Nights. I don't expect that to happen, at least this year. But maybe in the future, maybe that'd be really neat. But overall, Lagoon show's back, super excited. And then this truss will most likely be transformed to have a signage for the Lagoon show. But we'll see how it is. I don't know what to expect. I wasn't a huge fan of Ghoulish. I really like Marathon of Mayhem. So we'll see what angle they do it this year. But kind of excited. They announced 2 shows today. So we just watched Mega Movie Parade, really fun. It's always a great parade. And yeah, so they've announced the 2 shows today for Halloween Horror Nights. And we still have to go in depth about all the things they announced on Twitter through the UK press event. We have also a couple other things to talk about, but no new merch today, no house announcement today so far that it seems. It's past 3 o'clock, or it's getting close to 4 o'clock now. So. It was fun to see during the Mega Movie Parade how they were kind of avoiding the props in the street, the performers, with that scare zone setup. So it's gonna be interesting to see what setup they have in the New York zone. And yeah. Next to Minion Cafe and the Transformers Extended Queue, where they usually have bar setups, I've noticed some lighting here. I don't know if this is for Halloween Horror Nights or not, They have red and blue bulbs though. It looks really cool.
Wow! We haven't been here in ages. In the tallest tower! Shrek! Donkey! Alara, what are you doing? Hey, we're actually in the story of Shrek, remember? We used to watch.
So we just got out of the DreamWorks Imagination Celebration. Haven't seen that show in a while, but they added a couple new cloud puppets to it, so it's pretty cool. But we really went in there for the air conditioning. Really good. But let's talk about all the UK stuff that was announced in their thread. And also, let's show you guys the Diagon Alley. Showed you guys that last video, but we're gonna show you guys a couple of these Death Eater props. I don't think there's any new ones though. So something they talked about in the UK event was that they're going to be extra immersive this year during Halloween Horror Nights. It seems like they're really pushing that. For Fallout, it says that it's going to check the box of the house for not only the gamers, but also fans of the show. You're going to see the Vault, the Blood Wedding, Rad Roach, Gulper, T60, and a lot more. I'm trying to really speed run some of these details before the weather really kicks in, but another post says that fans of Terrifier in for an incredible experience. Team worked really closely with Damien Leone on the house, which they say is the bloodiest and goriest house that HHN has ever done, with more water effects than any other house ever. There's so many water effects that at the end of the house, guests will choose a path between a dry or wet path. In the Jason Universe house, supposed to have a bunch of different Jasons, and they're describing it as Insidious times 10. Grave of Flesh is one of the original houses. They stated that what happens after you die, you're being attacked by vicious flesh eaters. When you get your grave site, where you'll see and smell soil being put on top of you. It feels like you're getting buried.
Don't go down.
We have El Artista, which is my favorite. We've got a lot of details on the house at Spooky Empire, that vlogs on the channel. But it features a conservatory, which contains the origins of horror, ties into the overarching theme of the event, and it's a beautiful house with 3 facades halfway through the house. Reduced scare zones from last year. It's not really a thing this year. They only have 4 scare zones, but they have more characters and scenic all around the park. There's the HHN bar back with photo ops at the hotels again. They went into some details about the doll's house. It says you're shrunk to the size of a doll. You'll constantly feel small with everything else oversized, and you're gonna enter the dollhouse, and it gets bloodier as you keep going through the dollhouse. Some more, they said that scare zones, as you cross through the turnstiles, you're entering the conservatory from El Artista. The truss on the sign, or the truss sign, will have conservatory gates in front of it. There's going to be statues, gargoyles that come to life and welcome you into the conservatory. Huge wingspan on the gargoyles, and there's a change with the opening truss structure. The neon sign will not be red, it's going to be blue this year, neon blue or turquoise blue. Inspired by Hollywood, they brought some crow characters into that front zone. They're going to feature statues, stone statues carved by the chainsaw characters that feature the intellectual properties. Photo ops and hotels will have these as well. Photo ops at the hotels will be at the North Campus hotels, not the Epic hotels. And Trivia Store is coming back, but no other details have arrived about that yet. There's going to be extra content this year that will take immersion to the next level, but those would be revealed at a later date. Fans of Five Nights at Freddy's can expect announcement incoming, and there's things that are coming, not just one experience, they said. And for Fallout, they also said that other locations that you're going to see in the house are going to be the Wasteland, Philly, the Super Duper Mart, and the Gulper Creatures Giant. Terrifier House will feature every single iconic kill that Art has created. You'll have tons of blood dumped all over you. In Jason, you're going to visit the Kill Shack, Camp Crystal Lake, amazing classic moments from the Jason universe. And the house is created from the team that made Insidious and the Red Curtain Room. Expect Jason everywhere, they say. Dolls Let's Play Dead features a comedy type house, and it has Lila, which is the main character, and she likes to torture and terrify her dolls. We're the size of her dolls, and it says you can also find Lila around somewhere else in the park, so that might be a meet and greet at the HHN bar or the Club Horror, who knows. The facade is a dollhouse that Lila's like kind of torn apart in a way. Every detail is that made that you feel small. So you're going to see a giant electrical plug in the wall, and everything is super oversized. Lila's going to appear through the windows. You'll definitely do it. Hatchet and Chains features demon bounty hunters in an Old West cow town being taken over by demons from hell. So they're going to kill people by climbing into people's bodies and burning them from inside out. You'll see a demon coming out of the face of a human in this house. Grave of Flesh, they gave more details. Nothing that we haven't really already seen. El Artista also says that they're going to have a bunch of tricks that they've learned all throughout the 34 years of Halloween Horror Nights, and just a bit more of the backstory. Galkin, Monsters of the North, brings a folklore beast creatures to a Norse community, which will be savaged and ripped apart. Ravaged and ripped apart, my bad. Shaman Beast is drawing all the creatures to the community. One of the bloodiest houses, very bloody and very visceral. The shaman is collecting the creatures, making them part of her. She gets bigger and bigger as you go. At one point, the prop for her head as the final shaman is 6 feet tall. And you're gonna go under the 6 foot head, going into the belly of the beast. So those are all the details we got from this event, but there's a ton of details and things that were revealed, just in-depth things and just crazy little details that, you know, are getting us closer to the event. We got poured on, so we ran over to Men in Black, got 3 rides on there, maxed out one of those, and we're gonna head into Diagon to briefly show you the stuff with the Death Eaters. It's pretty much gonna do it for today's HHN update though. I wonder how soon until we see the signage for the show start appearing. Maybe tomorrow. As we head into Diagon, we have some themed set pieces, the same we saw a couple weeks ago. This is a whole stage for the Death Eaters. They have a lot of these little set pieces spread out throughout Diagon Alley. Nothing new since our last visit. This one might be new actually. But we're gonna check into Nocturne Alley and see this one set piece that didn't look complete. We're gonna see what it looks like today. So over here they have a set piece that was being worked on. Looks like it's a box and a rope, and some people are sitting on it, but the stage set piece might actually be complete, but I thought last year had like an actual stage, not like a box and a rope, so I'm not quite sure. We'll keep checking back up on that piece though. Before I end the video, that's pretty much all the updates from today itself. We're most likely gonna rope drop tomorrow before we go to Busch Gardens, so we're gonna see if there's anything going on tomorrow morning. And if there is, we're going to report back up on that, and we're going to put that footage in today's video. If we didn't see anything, then this literally will be the end of the video though. Alright, it is now the next morning. We've just entered the park, and already right off the bat, there's a few brand new updates in the Hollywood zone. We have some detail work on the bottom of the trusses over here, at the front of this zone. Some theming. This other truss as well has some more of that same theming. I believe they're gonna have a set piece that's gonna go over this, as you can also tell by the line indicated here. The rest of this zone looks the same as yesterday for the most part, except the very end of the zone right now. We aren't expecting any other Halloween Horror Nights announcements today either, but if that happens and we're gone later today, we'll just report back up on it later in another video. This light on top of the Mel's Diner, I don't know if it was here yesterday, but this set piece sure wasn't. It was just a small truss. So another new set piece right over here. Pretty neat looking. Despite getting the Lagoon show announced yesterday, we don't have any new Lagoon show signage here, but there will be added to this truss. I don't remember if this lighting truss is new in this little area here by the HHN bar. The back half of the park by the Cat Lady zone isn't gonna open for another like 30 minutes. So we're gonna walk around to the New York zone, and then obviously I don't think we can hit the San Fran area because I think that's blocked off as well. But the front entrance zone doesn't have any new theming or anything, but we're gonna check the New York zone in the meantime. So I think San Fran is open. We can check that soon, but there's only one new update in the New York zone that we're gonna show you guys real quick. The only update in the New York zone is this lighting truss right over here by Sting Alley. I was told that there's nothing new in the San Fran zone, so we're not going to prioritize that one now. We'll do that in our full loop after we hit the Central Park zone. So we're going to hit the Central Park when they open that back half of the park up in like 20 minutes, and then we'll go over to San Fran just to see. But San Fran is open at the moment. Now in the Crooked Lane Scare Zone, we're going to see if there's any updates in here for today. So far the actual street leading up to the zone is the exact same. I know this now has a concrete pillar with a actual like platform, so we might get a big structure here. We have another one of these over here, so they must have been doing some concrete work. We're gonna have some big structures, and that was probably the green tarps were covering that. These look really cool. In this whole zone, it looks like nothing is new, except for one small detail is this little black support beam here, which is supporting some electrical cables. But yeah, nothing is new in this zone. The set piece looks the same though. A really good looking set piece. And of course this truss structure looks the exact same as well. No new updates to it. We're gonna catch another quick AC break before we check on the San Fran zone. We're passing the Nightmare Fuel show area and no signage has been added here either today. Definitely later on, hopefully. We just went through the San Fran zone and the Death Eaters and nothing new has been added for either of them. So we're pretty much heading out of the park. But we actually do have one more update we're gonna show you guys before we head out today. I almost overlooked this, but there's some red string lighting here by this patio area for seating. Should be next to one of the food booths. I don't know if this is new or not, but I don't remember seeing this. We have our last update in the main Universal Studios store. We finally have the return of the Jaws sippers. They have them in a few of the stores. They're $24 plus tax. I'm gonna get one because we never got to see one. This is my first time actually seeing the thing. I love how the rope is tied around it. Looks like really good quality. You can even take the bottle out of its mouth. This is incredible. Yeah, it's Jaws' like 50th anniversary, so really cool that they have this. But yeah, last major update of the day. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Got to show you guys a lot of Halloween Horror Nights construction. Got all the brand new Scare Zone set pieces. Look really amazing. They announced some shows, so that was really cool. I'm excited for the Lagoon show, and especially Nightmare Fuel. We figured it was coming back, but to have that confirmed is amazing, and to have the Lagoon show confirmed is amazing. As it gets closer, sometimes when you walk around the park, you'll hear and see sounds and stuff from the show's testing, and even see some of the Lagoon stuff as well. So you might even catch some of that later on in the season. All the news from the UK press event we got to talk about, which is really cool. They went in depth on a lot of the different Scare Zone details, the house details, and most importantly, just other things about the event that we didn't know beforehand. And also we got to see just different things around the park, just different updates in general. Like I said, I'm not sure if this video is gonna have footage from the next day or not, but I'm assuming it's just gonna be more Scare Zone updates on Friday, so hopefully if that's in there, it's in here. But yeah, Nightmare Fuel, we got to see that, you know, the circus theming's back, and you can see the Reapers, and if you want a really good look at that, definitely look back at a few of my videos from previous. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's Halloween Horror Nights update. So if you want to see all the other houses that were announced, so like Terrifier, Friday the 13th, and Fallout, and all the original houses, we have separate videos for all those. So you can find those on my channel with all the respective merch, and then the Horror Nights updates from around that time. And we're gonna continue to have more Halloween Horror Nights updates every week. So make sure you stay tuned. Subscribe, like the video so you don't miss out on another update. And as it gets closer in the next month, because we only have one more week of July, we're basically almost 1 month away from Halloween Horror Nights. So it's gonna be a lot of rapid pace updates, and you guys are gonna want to stay tuned, not only here but to my social media pages as well. You'll find my social media pages in the description with the handle at Ethan Hershaft on all platforms. That includes Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Also Instagram at The Orlando Tourist. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.